Okay, hopefully I'm live now. Good afternoon, good morning, how are you all doing? I'm here for another meditation. It's Friday. I think it's Friday anyway. All the days seem to mingle into one at the moment. It's weird not having weekends. So yeah, how are you all doing? I want to share a bit of a conversation I had with somebody earlier on today about how do we cope with the situation at the moment. But let me just check that I am online, check that people are here and everything is working and you can hear me. So, can you hear me? Cheryl says yes. No, Cheryl says good day. Cheryl's here. Don't know, our brains are just going to mush at the moment. They really are. Here's my catlet. Have I got a camera up for my cat? I haven't. Okay, let's add one. Here she is. Nice, and she's my Zen master. She's nice and calm. She spends all her day there virtually. Can see and hear you. Brilliant. That's that sorted. I want to talk about balance and about what's something that's really important while we're under lockdown. For many years, between the age of probably 20 and 30, I found it really hard to motivate myself. Hi, Lone Anderson. I found it really hard to motivate myself. When you're home all the time and you have very little to do, it's really easy to get stuck in that non-motivated rut. And what's really difficult is getting out of it. And over the next few months, it's going to be really difficult if we get stuck in that rut to get out of it. One sec. Hello, Ken.
Hi.
Can I call you back after I'm live?
Yeah, bye.
Bye. It's really hard to get out of that rut once we get stuck into it. And a conversation with a friend of mine this morning reminded me of it, about a couple of things. It's important to keep a routine. Get out of bed. Get out of your PJs. And Terry Waite says a similar thing. It's important to keep note of the days, keep note of and have some kind of normality to your life. So if you're working from home, put your work clothes on, have a shower, get ready for work, go out the gate and walk back in and get into work mode. Little things like that will really make a difference and help you to stay motivated. And separate between life at home and your work life and what you need to do. You know, actively, if you're going to go and read for an hour, actively go and read for an hour. Find a seat that you're comfortable in. If you're going to go and work at the kitchen table or something, or work somewhere on your laptop, if that's where you work from, and make that your work area. The problem is, if we're mixing the home life and work and all that, it becomes very difficult. And I know how difficult it is with the kids because, well, I don't, but I can imagine how difficult it is with kids. You know, it's not that easy. You can't just suddenly close the door and they're all going to be good for 6 hours while you do your work. But keep some kind of normality as much as possible. Separate your work day, and you do this to keep motivated. If you get into that trap of, if you normally start at 8 o'clock in the morning and you're not bothering until 11 o'clock, when you have to go back to work, it's going to be so difficult. I hope that makes sense. But I want to talk about balance today, and the balance between the two inside, the two voices, the one voice that wants to grow and the one voice that wants to put up the walls and protect you. And how do we have balance between those two things? Before I talk about that, I want to say hello. Hiya, Katja, Carmen. Christina's here. Hi, Christina, and Gloria's here. Thank you, Cheryl, for sharing. Really appreciate anybody that shares this. And reminder, I'm going live every single day at the moment at 2 p.m. to do a little bit of a insight and a little bit of a meditation. And the meditations are just really sit down, chill out, and become aware of what's going on. And that's what it's all about. I'm doing that 7 days a week. Subject to anything popping up that really takes us by surprise. And if 2020 can teach us anything, that anything can happen. Anything can happen. So if you are here and watching, say hi in the comments. Don't be shy. Just say perhaps where you're watching from, and I'd like to welcome people on Periscope and on my YouTube channel, which I'm trying to build up to 1,000 YouTubers. Hello from Taiwan. I'm going to try to pronounce your name, but please, Akeluin. Hopefully I got that somewhat right. So yeah, and I cannot see you unless you say hi in the comments. I have no way of seeing who's online. Angelique on Periscope. I'm watching from Leeds in the UK. How are you doing? What's it like in Leeds? Is everybody staying in? It's really quiet and eerie. Before my accident, when I was 17, I used to work at the fish counter at Tesco's. And because on the fish counter, I was desperate for a job. I'd just been kicked out of sixth form. And I went in Tesco's basically begging for a job. And they said, well, the only one we've got is on the fish counter. And I said, I'll take it. So I took the job. And I can remember going to work sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I used to walk through Truro. And it was the most wonderful time because it was dead. Nobody was around. It was even before the bins were picked up in the town. And it was really quite unusual. And I have this vision of that's what the town's like at the moment. And just, it's a bit weird imagining that on a Saturday afternoon where next to nobody's in the town. A few people going to the grocery shopping, but that's about it. I don't know what it's like in different countries, but over here we're essential journeys only. And that's for food, medicines, cat supplies, pet supplies. Everywhere else is closed, I believe. So, okay, let's talk about balance. And this is an important one. And I think we're all... Let me know in the comments if this sounds similar to you. There's this struggle inside between you want to grow and you want to get out of your comfort zone and you want to be something. You want to live your purpose and you want to grow beyond the limitations of your current knowledge and skill level, and you want to learn, you want to go deeper, maybe spiritually, or you want to go deeper into a profession, or perhaps you want a better relationship, or you want to expand just who you are. And then there's the flip side, the other voice that says, no, don't do that. Stay, build these walls. Don't let anybody in. Don't let anybody love you. Don't let anybody, because everybody will hurt you, or just stay in your comfort zone. You're no good at that. You can't do it. Leave that to the professionals. Does that sound familiar? It should, because that's humans. I think that's all of us. Not just me, not just a few of us. But I think it's all of us that struggle between the two. And it's very much like a balloon. A balloon only works. It doesn't work when there's no air in it. What's the point in that? I'll give a kid a balloon with no air in. Kid's going to go, really? But if you get too much, it bursts. So a balloon is perfect when the internal pressure to expand is also got the surround and the wall around it to protect it from expanding too fast. So how do we create this balance between wanting to grow, wanting more, and not going too far and not running before we're walking? And we grow up with the phrases from our parents: don't run before you can walk, and all these other things. Stay safe. Don't do anything like crazy. Yet we get to our early 20s and all the advice is go out on the limb, do things crazy, take a risk. How do we have that balance? And I can't answer that for you. But we intrinsically know, intuitively know where our current balance is. It's like blowing up that balloon. You kind of know the limits of the balloon, but you keep blowing up a little bit. And you want it at a nice level that it's not too hard, but it's not too soft that it's like boring and it doesn't play up. But we know where that limit is. And it's not where we are most of the time. It's not where we are. And that's what I want you to think about today is how can we every day expand a little? And how can we release those walls and those barriers just a little every day? It's like you take a breath every single time. And you breathe to the limit. Well, what if you just breathed a little bit more? What if when you've done your exercise, you can do 10 and you do 3 lots of 10, you can do that. What if you just do a 4th lot? And the Navy SEALs have a motto of 40%. You're only ever, there's always 60% left. Whenever you think you're exhausted, whenever you think you cannot go any further, whenever you think you're at your limit, you're only 40%. So I'm not asking you to go to the extent of the Navy SEALs, but perhaps push yourself to that 50%, that's 60%. And that's in what we're learning. Perhaps go a little deeper in the learning. Pick up the book that's slightly harder for you. Take that course and do that exercise that's slightly harder for you. Decide to make the cake that you don't think you're capable of. It's a perfect opportunity to do all those things. So what do people... I've not used Periscope for a while now, but should pick it up again. Yeah, I used to use it a lot and I stopped. I'm mainly on Facebook. Most of the people that watch this are on Facebook. Katja in Canada, it's pretty quiet. Hi, Dolores. Shelley says, I struggle with that every day. Want to do more in my life, but worry about failing. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I agree with these lovely quotes that say, shoot for the stars if you miss, or shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll end up in the stars. I love all that optimism, but sometimes I don't think it helps us. And sometimes when someone inspirational comes along, someone that's doing really amazing or perceived to be doing really amazing, and then before we know it, we're we're climbing back because we don't think we can live up to them, and we think, well, they're doing way more with less, there must be something wrong with me. So all these voices. So let's just sit back a moment and just become aware of our breath. I'm going to put on some background music, some mood music. And let's just become aware of our breath. And I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. This is a nice way of becoming aware of what's going on inside of our bodies. Notice any pockets of tension in your body, and as you breathe out, just let it go and relax. Maybe let your shoulders relax. Let your neck relax, or your face. The more alert and relaxed you become, the more open and more comfort you will feel. And you can breathe in calmness and breathe out relax. Maybe you got any pockets of tension, maybe you got any stiffness in your body. Just imagine that fading away as you breathe out. And treat each out breath as a letting go. I want you to become aware of that part inside of you, that voice inside of you that wants to do so much with life, that wants to live its purpose, that wants to grow and learn. I want you to feel what that feels like, to have that ambition and motivation. That voice that feels it's way more than this. It's open, it's loving, it's more vast than the body. It's more vast than the finite self. It has no limitations. This real feeling of, I can do this. No matter what life throws my way, I've got it. Now I want you to just come back to your breath and just sit quiet. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. Just allow your body to relax, but stay alert. Remember, relaxing isn't about something you need to do. Your body knows how to relax. You just gotta let it do it. Everything is well in this moment. I want you to bring to mind the voice that builds the walls, the voice that's a bit frightened of stepping out of the comfort zone. The one that wants to protect you and loves you. Perhaps you can bring that feeling of a little scared, a little frightened to leave your comfort zone. How does it feel? What are the messages? Notice how the energy is completely different. Notice how it just dismisses many ideas and thoughts. Just wants to stay comfortable. Wants to be alone. And now we'll come back to our breath. And I'm breathing in. And I'm breathing out and letting go. Allowing things to be exactly as they are. There's nothing good nor bad about this moment. It's just this present moment that is here for us. It's here for us to experience and enjoy and become aware of. Now I want you to bring to mind that feeling again of growth, and you want to live to your purpose, and you want to become the full version you can be with all the freedom and the joy without any limitations. And alongside that, I want you to also bring the other voice of protecting and building the walls and the barriers, and wanting you to stay safe at the same time. And I want to know if you can hold both in the same space. Can you be aware of both? And realize they both have a place, they both have a purpose. Neither voice, neither feeling, neither part of you is any better or worse than the other. It's not needed any more than the other. They're both there for you. And you maybe feel the drive to grow slightly stronger, warmer. You may be radiating towards that a little more. And notice how you can hold them both. You don't have to dismiss and get rid of one for the other. They're interdependent on each other. They're both needed. They both have a voice. And when we find balance between the two, balance is becoming aware. Balance isn't about dismissing and one winning over the other. Balance has been aware of both and allowing the message to come through and making wise choices. So imagine yourself making the wise choice and going with the growth and going with the purpose and what you want to be, how you want to show up. But we've also bringing along the protection to keep that in check, to keep it humble. Keep it humble but not take it away. In a couple of moments we're just going to come back and become aware of our current situation and current place. Where are we to? Now if we do 5, 4, and just open your eyes if you've got your eyes closed. 2, shake out your arms. 3, I missed 3. It doesn't matter. Take a deep breath and just be here. How are you guys doing? How was that? It's about how we very often think we need to go to one individual voice. And we don't. They're all in it together, all collectively there. The ego is made up of thousands of voices, thousands of opinions and beliefs. The idea is not to dismiss them all and go, get rid of the ego, don't have anything to do with it. Get rid of the protector, the one that builds the walls. It's not about that. It's about finding balance with them all. Giving them all a voice. And being able to bring more than one into your awareness at a time. It's like when you're doing something as a child, getting on a roller coaster. You're frightened and excited. 2 different voices, 2 different feelings. But they're both present. Children instinctively know how to go with one, but feel the others as well. But as adults, we get it drummed out of us. No, you shouldn't feel that. You shouldn't have that voice. You shouldn't do this. Everyone's got an opinion on whose voice and what voice is best. Your voices are. Your voices are the best for you. But we need to not become attached to them. We need to allow them to be there, allow them to advise, allow them to, if you're in a problem, you go to people for advice. You go to the experts. Well, these voices within are the experts. Don't just choose the ones you want to listen to. But don't take too much notice of any of them. Don't become attached to anyway. Thank you, Katja. Thank you, Cheryl. And hi, Carol. Yep, if you go back to the start, I talk about it a little bit at the start and why I've done that meditation today. It's really how I'm feeling the 2 at the moment. I hope you're back from the phone call, Victoria. Somehow I tend to get surrounded by those who find it necessary to highlight my failures for me to fail to try. You got to feel sorry for them, haven't you? If they're failing that badly that they got to highlight the failures in others to make themselves feel better. Yikes. But that doesn't help you, I know. Well, it may help you a little. I'm going to love you guys, and I'm going to go, and I will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. doing a different meditation, and hope you have a wonderful weekend and an amazing Friday. Remember, we're in this for the long haul, and, you know, get up, have a shower, get dressed, get out your PJs. Keep a structure in your life every day. Even if you're not going out, keep a structure of some kind. It's important. We're going to need it. We don't want to get into a rut. Ruts are hard to get out of. They're so much easier not to fall in. So, take care, guys. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, Gloria. And Carol. And everyone else that joined me today and joined us. Stay safe and stay in. And if you have to go out to work, thank you.